The NASCAR Cup Series race has officially concluded from Bristol Motor Speedway, and we see one of the most wildest and chaotic NASCAR Cup Series races of all time that turns into a tire management event, and the Joe Gibbs Racing Cars put up a dominating clinic. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to your video. I just got done watching NASCAR Cup Series race in Bristol Motor Speedway, the Food City 500. We had quite a bit to talk about from this race. Let's go and talk about it. So at the start of the race, you had Ryan Blaney lead the field from the outside with Josh Berry on the inside, and Ryan Blaney got a really solid run and was able to clear for the lead for a few laps, and then Josh Berry was able to get the lead. And then basically the lead was traded back and forth many times throughout the early portion of this event. Then you had a lot of really good racing. Ty Gibbs got up there early, and then we had William Byron actually get up to the outside wall on lap number 19 and brought out the first caution race and broke the tolling. And the first caution came out because of basically him getting the outside wall and debris getting out on the racetrack. So during the caution, because tires were going to be a big premium in this event, Tyler Reddick decided to stay out, but all the rest leaders came down pit road with Josh Berry winning the race off of pit road. And we all saw some guys play a little bit of strategy where some guys took 2 tires while the rest leaders took 4. So on the restart, you had Tyler Reddick lead the field from the outside. You had Tyler Reddick lead the field from the outside with Josh Berry on the inside, and we saw some really good racing up front for a lap, and Bubba Wallace got to the outside for the lead. But then trouble would strike as Tyler Reddick got loose coming off of turn number 3, and a lot of drivers got involved, including Corey LaJoie, AJ Allmendinger, Daniel Hamlin, Zane Smith, and Carson Osbar all got involved. Zane Smith just plowed in there, and this took Tyler Reddick out of contention. So then on the next restart, you had Bubba Wallace lead the field from the outside with Josh Berry on the inside, and Bubba Wallace got a great run and was able to clear for the lead. And then we saw a lot of leaders. Josh Berry got the lead for a little bit. Then Denny Hamlin got the lead. Then Josh Berry dropped all the way back. Then Chase Elliott got the lead. Then Ryan Blaney got the lead. And then Kyle Busch got to the race lead. You had like a super speedway style race for 30 or 40 straight laps. But eventually the caution would then come out for Zane Smith, who had basically debris coming off of his car, and he brought the caution out. And then all lead lap cars would then come down pit road with Denny Hamlin winning the race off of pit road at that point. So then on the restart, Denny Hamlin lead the field from the outside with Denny Hamlin Kyle Larson, I think, on the inside, and Denny Hamlin got a really strong restart, was able to clear for the lead. Then it was basically back and forth. Ryan Blaney got the lead, then Denny Hamlin got the lead, and everyone was managing their tires because tires were a major premium at this point. And then all the drivers started having tire problems. Then Ty Gibbs on lap 120, he was able to take the lead. Denny Hamlin then got into the outside wall. He was dropping back very immensely, was losing a ton of positions. He would basically have a flat tire, and then Kyle Busch also lost a tire and brought the caution out because he spun out with the flat tire. Because of that, Ty Gibbs would come off the corner and win stage number 1. So then all lead lap cars would come down pit road with Kyle Larson winning the race off pit road, and there was a lot of drivers who had tire problems on pit road. So then on the restart, you had Kyle Larson lead the field from the outside, Brad Keselowski on the inside, and Ty Gibbs got a great restart on Kyle Larson and was able to pass for the lead. And then for the next 10 to 15 laps, the lead was traded back and forth. Martin Truex Jr. got the lead. Then Ty Gibbs got the lead. Then Kyle Larson got it back for a few laps. Then Ty Gibbs got it back for a few laps. Then Denny Hamlin took the lead. And then Ty Gibbs took the lead as the race pace was down due to basically trying to save the tires. And then there was some contact between Michael McDowell and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. They made contact, and unfortunately Stenhouse spun out and basically got loose and went up the track and collected Zane Smith and Daniel Hemrick, bringing the caution out. Don't know what Stenhouse is trying to do there. That's on him, in my opinion. He brought the caution. So then all leaders would come down pit road with Chris Buescher and win the race off of pit road. Ty Gibbs got equipment interference penalty, and also we saw Todd Gillen take 2 tires, and Denny Hamlin lost a ton of positions on pit road because he basically got blocked in. So then on the next restart, you have Chris Buescher lead the field from the outside with Christopher Bell on the inside, and Chris Buescher got a great restart and was able to pass for the lead. And then Christopher Bell, he eventually got by Chris Buescher for the race lead, and then Chris Buescher started falling back, and then the Joe Gibbs cars would assert dominance as Christopher Bell and Martin Truex Jr. would trade the lead for a little bit, and Truex got the lead back. And then on lap 228, the next caution race come out when Kyle Busch spun from 31st position off the lead lap, just lost it basically going in, I think, into turn number 2, brought the caution out. Then we saw a little strategy. Corey LaJoie, Carson Osbar stayed out while the rest leaders came down pit road, and then Christopher Bell won the race off of pit road. Meanwhile, a lot of drivers had issues with speeding. I think that Ryan Blaney was speeding and lost a ton of positions. So then on the next restart, Corey LaJoie lead the field from the outside with Carson Osbar on the inside, and Christopher Bell got a great restart and was able to clear for the lead. But then a few laps later, Joey Logano got a great run and he got to the race lead. And then a few laps later, Ty Gibbs, he got by Joey Logano and got to the race lead. And Ty Gibbs would come off the corner and win stage number 2, sweeping the stages. So then all the lap cars would then come down pit road, with Ty Gibbs winning the race off pit road with 2 tires. And then we also saw Cindric and Keselowski basically have some contact on pit road. And then Goodyear actually gave the rest of the field, because of the tire issues, they gave the field an extra set of tires. So then on the next restart, you had Ty Gibbs lead the field from the outside, Mark Truex Jr. on the inside, and Mark Truex Jr. lost the lead for a little bit. Ty Gibbs led, and then eventually Ty Gibbs let Mark Truex Jr. take the race lead. And then with 190 laps to go, Josh Berry spun in turn number 2, basically losing it at being 8th position, and he basically was able to save it, but he brought the caution out. I think at the time also Harrison Burton had come down pit road. So then all the lap cars would then come down pit road, with Denny Hamlin win the race off pit road, followed by Christopher Bell, Ty Gibbs, and Mark Truex Jr., and Kyle Larson was 5th on that time. So then on the restart, you Denny Hamlin lead the field from the outside with Christopher Bell on the inside, and Kyle Larson jumped up to 3rd. But Ty Gibbs got a fantastic restart and was able to clear for the race lead. And then eventually Ty Gibbs dominated this portion, but eventually with 136 laps to go, Denny Hamlin got the race lead. And then the final caution of this race, which we didn't think was going to be the final caution, but the last caution race came out with 133 laps to go, when the leaders had caught lap traffic, and Austin Cindric and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. had some contact when Stenhouse basically got a little up the track. Cindric got loose. Cindric goes up the track and collects Ricky Stenhouse Jr. after Todd Gilliland stacked it up, bringing out the final caution of this race. And all the lap cars would then come down pit road, with Denny Hamlin winning the race off of pit road. Kyle Larson unfortunately got a penalty for equipment interference and would drop to the rear. So at this point, this race would become a tire management event. So then on the final restart, Denny Hamlin lead the field from the outside with Ty Gibbs on the inside, and Denny Hamlin got a fantastic restart and was able to clear for the lead. They were racing really, really hard up front, and then eventually the tires started going away. Ty Gibbs then got the lead about 100 laps to go. We started seeing tire problems. First Todd Gilliland, then Kyle Larson. Then a few other drivers started having major tire issues and tire problems as the run progressed and went on. And everyone started coming down pit road, including 2 of the fastest cars, including Ty Gibbs and Christopher Bell. And they all started having tire trouble. But Denny Hamlin and Mark Truex Jr. were able to manage the tires the best. And they were able to stay out on the racetrack because they were able to manage tires way better than everybody else. And then eventually those guys would then come down pit road. And we thought we were going to get a caution with 52 laps to go for Carson Oates for having a flat, but then he was able to get down pit road, and Brad Keselowski pit after being in 3rd position, handing the lead to Alex Bowman. And then eventually Alex Bowman was able to come down pit road after leading for a few laps and handing the lead back to Denny Hamlin. So at this point, it was going to be who was going to be able to hold on the tires the best between Denny Hamlin and Mark Truex Jr., because it was going to be one of those 2 guys going to victory lane. And they got into the traffic, they were starting to have problems, and Mark Truex Jr. tried to make a run to the inside of Denny Hamlin. He actually got the lead for a lap, but Denny Hamlin got a fantastic run to the outside and got the lead back. They were trading the lead back and forth multiple different times throughout the rest of this event, and they battled side by side for a few laps, but eventually Denny Hamlin was able to clear for the lead. As it came to the final few laps, they caught a little bit of lap traffic, and Mark Truex Jr. tried to close in, but Mark Truex Jr. ran out of time, and coming out the final corner, Denny Hamlin wins his first race of the 2024 season and one of the wildest and wackiest NASCAR Cup Series races ever, and picks up his 52nd career NASCAR Cup Series victory. Denny Hamlin absolutely deserves this win. He managed the tires the best of anybody in this field and was able to hold on with a really strong and a really, really fast car today. He did a very, very awesome and great job, and Denny Hamlin has shown a lot of speed this year. He's been close to winning. He was my pick coming in the weekend to get the victory, so to see Denny Hamlin win, not surprised by that, even though all the chaos happened in the event. Congratulations to Denny Hamlin getting his first win of the year. He says this is his year, and maybe it will be his year. He's led 10-plus laps in every single event this season and had one of the strongest cars. Congratulations to Denny Hamlin on picking up the victory. So now we're going to take a look at the race results and to give my score and thoughts on today's race, because these results are all over the place. So Denny Hamlin picks up the victory. Mark Truex Jr. finished second. A fantastic day for Mark Truex Jr. For most of this race, he was one of the top 3 cars near the end. I don't think he had the fastest car, but he still had a really great car today and gets his best finish of the season. Gets his first top 5 finish in the last 16 or 17 races. So a great day for Mark Truex Jr. Brad Keselowski finished third. I think he probably had maybe one of the 2 best cars outside of the Joe Gibbs cars. He was really, really strong. Ran top 5 majority of the day. His win is coming. This is back-to-back top 5s for Brad Keselowski. A great and fantastic day for this 6 team. Alex Bowman finishes 4th. They were kind of quiet all day, but they showed up at the end, played the tire strategy correctly, and they get a very respectful and solid top 5 finish. A great day for Alex Bowman, a great confidence booster, a much-needed run. good day in 4th place. Kyle Larson finishes 5th. I think Kyle Larson probably had the best car outside of the Joe Gibbs cars. He was the only car outside of the JGR cars that really could keep up with the Joe Gibbs cars most of the day. He basically had that equipment interference penalty. If not for that, I think Kyle Larson absolutely would have had a shot. I think he used his tires up way too quickly, and that basically is what cost him a shot. So, though, 5th place, great run for Kyle Larson. John Hunter Nemechek finishes 6th. He earned that, in my opinion. He ran top 10 a majority of the day. His best cup run I think he's ever had up to this point. He had a top 10 car majority of the day and gets a very respectful 6th place finish. Great run for John Hunter Nemechek. Chris Buescher finished 7th. Great run for him. Backs up a great run last week at Phoenix, where he finished in a runner-up position. Chase Elliott finishes 8th. He was strong early, led some laps, got Hendrick their 80,000 flat blood in the Cup Series. I think that's really incredible. Great run for Chase Elliott to get a top 10, his first top 10 of the season. He had a top 5 car at points today, just struggled in traffic, but he still gets a top 10 finish. Ty Gibbs finishes 9th. What could have been for Ty Gibbs? He had the fastest car, in my opinion. He was the strongest car all day. Unfortunately, they used their stuff up near the end. They had tire problems and issues at the end that cost him a shot at the victory. He's going to get a win at some point. I think he's due for a victory. Got a lot of points. Can't be mad about it. He's still got a 9th place finish. I know he's going to be disappointed by finishing 9th, but still, he had a great day. And Cristobal finishes 10th. He had a good car, in my opinion. Top 5 car all day long. Unfortunately, the tire issues bit him a little bit, but he still comes home with a top 10 finish. Michael McDowell finished 11th, solid run for him. Josh Berry finished 12th, had a flat tire at the end, was in the top 5 near the end of this race, had a car capable getting a top 5 finish at points, did have those issues, but still finishing 12th. He had his best run, I think, all season long, had a top 10 potential run, done a great day at the end, but still a solid run, all things considered. Chase Briscoe finishes 13th, Ryan Preece gets top 15 and 14th, solid run for him. Ross Chastain finishes 15th. Ryan Blaney finished 16th, had issues throughout the day. It cost him a shot at the victory and tire problems. He still got back up to 16th. Justin Haley finished 17th. The finish is not going to show where he ran a lot of the day. He had a top 15 car pretty much all day long and gets his best, I think, tied for his best finish of the season in 17th, but probably should have gotten a top 10 today. He was pretty damn good. Daniel Suarez finishes 18th, was pretty disappointing all day long. Kaz Grala gets his top 2019 place, good run for him. And Eric Jones finishes 20th. Corey LaJoie finishes in 21st. Joey Logano finished 22nd. He had a pretty bad day, in my opinion. I know he got some stage points, but that car was one of the worst cars on the racetrack all day long. They struggled, especially on the tires. They still at least get a top 25, but man, I'm still worried about Joey Logano. He needs to start finishing a lot better if he's going to have a chance to make the playoffs. AJ Allmendinger finished 23rd. Austin Dillon finishes 24th. Not a great day for him. Kyle Busch finished 25th. Kyle Busch had a great car early in this race, and I thought he was going to have a car capable of winning. Unfortunately, they were bit by the tire issues early in the race. It cost him a shot. They finished 25th. Not a great day for Kyle Busch. Todd Gillen finished 26th. He was in the top 10 at points in this race. Unfortunately, had the tire issues. Carson Osbar finished 27th. Daniel Hemrick finished 28th. Bubba Wallace finished 29th. Was in the top 10 near the end of the race. Unfortunately, they got bit by the tire issues and they pitted really late. He finishes in 29th. Not a great day at the end of the day. Tyler Reddick finishes 30th. A disappointing day for him after the crash. Austin Center finished 31st. A disappointing day for him. Harrison Burton finished 32nd. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. finished 33rd. Noah Gragson, after 3 really good races the last couple of weeks, he unfortunately finishes in 34th place. Not a great day for him. William Byron never was able to recover. He finished 35th, and finishing last in 36th place is Zane Smith, who's been struggling to start the season. So now, let's talk about the overall race as a whole, and I'll give my score and thoughts on today's race. This was one of the craziest NASCAR races I've ever seen in my life. Let's talk about the tires. These tires were definitely a major issue in the race. Granted, I love the tire where we saw, because they basically made this race a tire management event. Because a lot of these drivers, they really have not had to go out there and try to manage tires. So it was definitely a different feel for those guys than we've seen in previous events, because a lot of times these drivers can go flat-footed and they can go up on the gas pedal instantly. You couldn't do that with these tires. But these aren't the same tires they used last September, so I'm thinking the resin compound played a major role. My only negative on that is basically that rubber did not get laid out on the racetrack, and they need to find a way where the tire can be low, because I know Couch Racer tweeted that they had a tire that basically was going to not take as much, was going to basically lay rubber on the track, or basically a tire that was going to fall off instantly at like 50 or 60 laps. And that was a really good thing. It became a tire management event, and it became, for me, a very enjoyable race, because you really didn't know who was going to go out there and win the race and the event. And at the end of the day, I thought it was very enjoyable, but I do believe if they are heading in the right direction with the tires, and I think it made this for one of the best short track races. After this race in general, one of the craziest races I've ever watched as a fan. This race for me was one of the most entertaining races I've seen in a long time. I don't think it was absolutely on the level of Atlanta of being good, but it was very close to that. It's up there on that level, in my opinion, of being in that Atlanta range. It's really close between both of those races for being best races of the year. But my score of today's NASCAR Cup Series race overall, I'm giving this race a 9.5 out of 10. I thought it was that good, in my opinion. A great finish at the end. A lot of tire management. It was very enjoyable for me. I loved it. I know that a lot of people, because this race is definitely going to be extremely polarizing for sure. But for me, I really enjoyed this race. It was a really crazy event. For me, it's a 9.5 out of 10. I thought it was that good of a race. So, that is going to today's NASCAR Cup Series race review from Bristol Motor Speedway. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support on Patreon as well. Links description below that, and comment your thoughts below on today's race. What are your thoughts on today's race? Let me know below. Let me know your score in the comments below, and congratulate Denny Hamlin on picking up the victory. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, we're going to have a NASCAR news video discussing news over the course of the last couple days, including some of the tire issues from today. Also talk about some other drivers in the field. We'll probably talk about SVG a little bit tomorrow, maybe Haley Deegan as well a little bit in the video, because we got some stuff to talk about that. Also, Xfinity coming back. Then Tuesday, we're going to have entry list videos for the NASCAR Cup Series and Xfinity Series races. And then on Wednesday, we are going to have another NASCAR news video along with the Truck Series race picks, probably the Xfinity Series race picks potentially, or that's going to come out. I'm not entirely sure, maybe on Thursday. In general, got a lot of great content dropping on the channel that I cannot wait for you guys to check out. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.